In our previous video, we looked at what was not a web strategy. Now let's take a little closer look at how to develop a web strategy. The first thing you want to do is identify your target market needs and hot buttons. And when I say hot buttons, I'm not talking about buttons that you click on a website, but these are the actual things that get users excited about interacting with your website and will also get them excited about contacting your company. And if you want to get a sense of what those hot buttons might be, you can ask yourself this question: what is it that we do that can help our customers, our clients, do their job better, or help our customers improve the quality of their life? These are the things that translate to hot buttons. These are the things that are benefits for web users, and your website needs to be loaded with benefits. The good news is that your company already does this. In fact, if you've been in business for a while and you're successful at what you do, then you can rest assured that you are doing the things that customers want, and that has to be translated on your website as well. If you're a new and startup company, then your market planning and your business planning needs to identify these things very well. And when you build your website, they have to be included in the site. So the key thing here is that you want to translate to the web what your business currently does very well, or what your business plan identifies that you're going to do well if you're a startup company. And then the bottom line of all this is, what do you want visitors to do on the site? And one of the best ways to find that out is to actually ask them, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute when we get into market research and feedback. So in a nutshell, these are the things you want to do to develop your web strategy. You want to answer these questions and think in broad, big picture terms. Now, a website that has done this very well is Netflix, and you'll hear me refer to Netflix quite often in these videos. I just love this website. It is taken what could be a very complicated thing and simplified it into 4 easy steps, which you can see on this site. Now, their site changes, and at the time of recording this video, their site may be different when you look at it, but the fundamental principles are the same. They keep it simple. They keep it easy to understand and very straightforward, and they also focus very much on conversion. When you think about it, Netflix has 85,000 titles or more. And you know, just to carry this inventory, just to make it searchable and usable for people is amazing. And just to try to educate people that it's okay to have movies come to you in the mail. It's okay to give your credit card number to the business and that sort of thing. All of that's done in a very good way with Netflix, and very straightforward, great strategy. And that strategy has translated to billions of dollars in sales for Netflix. They're one of the hottest web properties out there right now. So to identify your web strategy, what you really want to do then is lay down the ground rules that we talked about, but also test them through market research and data. And the web is really the place you want to go if you want to launch a business that relies on market research and data. There's probably nothing like the web out there, because so much of what happens on the internet is based on stats and statistics and data and consistent user behaviors. So what are some fundamentals behind market research and data when we talk about web marketing? Well, probably one of the most important components here is search engine marketing. And to do search engine marketing right, you've got to do keyword research. But keyword research goes a lot further than just search engine marketing. Keyword research also gives you an idea about your online marketplace. It defines niches for you. It also gives you an idea of what the hot buttons are that we talked about earlier, because you can go to your research and find out what people are searching for in very niche ways, and then use those searches to build your strategy. And we'll talk more about that when we get into search engine marketing in our videos here. But one of the things I think you really need to know about keyword research is that most people, the majority of the time, do unique searches or fairly unique searches. These are searches that are not commonplace, and so you want to find out what they are and make sure your website addresses those searches. And you can do that with your website analytics or stats, and we're going to get into more detail on this in just a second here. But the stats paint the picture for you about your website, and the stats are really the key indicator for any data that you're pulling or any market research. All these tie into visitor behavior, which you should be watching in your stats and also through user testing. You should also be doing competitive analysis and trying to be the best in your field. And you should definitely talk to website users and get their feedback. So I just want to stress this here. Search engine keywords are definitely a part of your online strategy. Don't think of these key terms solely as search engine bait and for search engine optimization purposes. Also think of them as a way to develop an online strategy. The key thing here is that they define your online marketplace. They're going to help you determine this strategy. I think that's very important when we talk about key terms. All right, let's talk about how to find search terms. I mean, it's important for you to know that you can go to the internet and find the terms that people use to find websites like yours. And there's 3 ways you can do that, or 3 ways we recommend. WordTracker.com, Yahoo Search Marketing, and Google AdWords. And Yahoo and Google, you would set up accounts, and then they would give you access to these keywords. Here's an example of what that might look like. Say you were selling travel insurance, and you wanted to get a sense of, well, how many searches are done every day for the word travel insurance and related terms. And you can see this is the kind of result you'll see from WordTracker. So go to wordtracker.com, set up a test account there, and get a sense of what keywords are used in your industry. And then keep in mind, it's not travel insurance that might be the winner for you, but it might be one of these subsets or these niche markets like Travel Insurance UK, for example. Website analytics also tie into keywords because they will tell you and show you the keywords people use to find your site. It's important that you set up Google Analytics, add the code to your pages, and you're watching these stats on a regular basis. Here's a sample page from Google. This is just a dashboard. Just about any stat you can imagine is found in Google Analytics, and all websites need to have this set up. It's a free service provided by Google because they're hoping that when you see the stats and you start using it, you'll also do advertising with them and then use that advertising to get conversions. And so they've given away this program for free in order for you to possibly become an advertiser with them. But it is top of the line as far as stats, and this is something you should be watching on a regular basis in your website. Here's some things to look at when you're analyzing stats. The first thing is and the most important really, is how many visitors you're getting. The unique visitors, repeat visitors, watch them monthly and look for traffic trends. Find out what they do on your website and keep an eye on bounce rate. We like to see bounce rates of around 30% to 40%. And what a bounce rate is when someone comes to your website and they leave immediately versus someone coming to your site and clicking around and checking it out. And so if people are the majority of people coming to your website and leaving, then you've got to make some changes either in the quality of your traffic or in what your website's doing. Also take a look at where visitors come from. This is called your referrers, and they're going to come from search engines, from other websites. They're going to type in the URL, and all that can be found in your stats program. And we also talked about search engine key terms. You can see the key terms people are using to find your website. You can also track in great detail any kind of search engine marketing that you do, either in AdWords or in Yahoo. And of course, there's a whole load of other stats that you can be looking at for your site. And different industries will rely differently on different stats, but just having the program there and spending time with it is definitely a plus. Once again, here's an overview of visitors coming in through Google Analytics, and you can see the kind of data that you get. Now, you feel free to pause this video so you can spend more time looking at these numbers. Let's talk a little bit about visitor behavior. First of all, stats alone won't tell you behavior. They won't tell you why people do things. You can make assumptions. But the best way to find out why people do things is to either conduct surveys, do user testing, or dive deeper into your web analytics and stats. And in fact, if you combine these 3 together, surveys, user testing, and stats, you get a very clear picture of why people do the things they do on your website. Let's take a close look at competitive analysis. You want to be the best in your field and look at your competitors and how they place in the search engines against you. Look at their messaging and where they're confusing and where they're clear and direct. Analyze your competitors' conversion strategies, how they get people to contact them. Look at how they do Google AdWords and other pay-per-click programs. You can also evaluate their technology, how sophisticated they are with their design, and look for best practices. Really, once again, the internet's a wide open sphere for you, and you can go there and see what your competitors are doing and find a way to make your site the best one out there. Well, this kind of wraps up our strategy component as far as looking at competitive analysis and stats and market research. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into how you actually implement strategy in our next video, which is the Internet Marketing Plan.